In this video, I will answer these questions about the Sigma 56mm f1.4 that I have owned for a few years. Most YouTubers are given a lens to try out, review, and then they return it. I've had this lens for a few years, so let me give you my review. This is a long-term review of this lens. Why did I buy the lens? I wanted a sharper lens with a creamier bokeh and a larger aperture than my Sony 50mm f1.8. And since I tend to shoot models, if they wore something white, I would get some chromatic aberration, also known as color fringing, using the Sony 50mm. I wanted a lens that did not really have much chromatic aberration. This one is taken with the Sigma 56mm f1.4. The sun is behind her and she's wearing something white. Even in RAW, before editing, nothing like what I had with the Sony 50mm. Here is what it looks like with my Sony 50mm before editing. What do I use this lens for? This is my main go-to portrait lens. I might bring my Sony 35mm and my Canon 85mm, but this stays on my camera most of the time during a portrait session. How good is this lens and are there issues with it? This lens is sharp, like wow. Even f1.4 is exceptionally sharp. What do you think? Comment below and let me know what you think. This also allows you to keep the ISO values down in low light and still have sharp pictures. It has fast autofocus and works great with eye autofocus. There's one thing you have to remember, is that a 56mm lens looks like an 84mm lens on a full frame. So you have to have a little distance between you and your subject. If you want something closer, like for a family or group picture, you might want to buy a 35mm lens. I would take pictures with your zoom lens and keep track of what zoom range you like using. There is not an optical steady shot on this lens unless you have a camera with IBIS like the A6700. It might not be steady enough for video. Do I still use it? Yeah. I use it for every portrait and headshot photo shoot. Are there other options? Not really, unless you want to pay more for a full frame lens, or if you want to go cheaper and get the Sony 50mm f1.8, which is a great lens. I took these pictures with the 50mm. Would you recommend this lens? Absolutely. I have seen so many reviews about this lens saying it is one of the sharpest lenses for the Sony a6000 series cameras. They're not wrong. The 56mm lives on my camera during photo shoots. To see just an unboxing for more pictures taken with this lens, then watch this video. Or for a long-term review of the Sony 50mm I mentioned in this video, then watch this video.